Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at some very spicy battles in the Open Great League featuring a very rare Pokemon, a Great League RAYQUAZA, but not only that, it's running double legacy moves of Breaking Swipe and its brand new move of Dragon Ascent. Dragon Ascent is an incredibly powerful flying type charge move, dealing monster damage but lowering Rayquaza's defense when you use it, and this trainer uses Dragon Ascent to deal massive damage in the Great League. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Great League RAYQUAZA in action. Hopping to the first match, picking up a pretty nice lead, Alolan Sandslash into Nidoqueen. Sandslash farming up, opponent is going to switch into Umbreon to absorb the Drill Run damage. So a nice catch by the opponent, Sandslash going to stay in this matchup as it looks to rebank the energy here. Umbreon, firing off the foul play, does some solid chip damage into the Sandslash. Sandslash farming up a ton of energy. One good catch deserves another, catching the foul play onto Altaria. Altaria does extremely well here and can dominate this matchup without shields, which is very important, as more often than not, with this team, you're probably going to want to save shields for the absurdly glassy Rayquaza in the back. Altaria firing off the Moonblast, hoping that Umbreon is going to let this through. Umbreon lets it go, and they get KO'd. Let's see, is it the Nidoqueen coming back in? No, it's a Azumarill. Altaria farming up energy, going for the Sky Attack, and that felt like a CMP tie. This Sky Attack will get some okay chip damage onto the Azu. We actually see a shield from the Azu here, as Azu trying to keep itself healthy. Ice Beam will be lethal, but now with Rayquaza in the back, this is a bit awkward. Definitely going to want to send in the Sandslash, and all the energy that was stored up earlier will now come in handy. Firing off the Drill Run into the Azu, continuing to farm up with the Sandslash. Very nice charge move timing and going for another Drill Run. This will not KO. Opponent commits the final shield. Okay, here we go. A shields down situation. Sounds like it's time for the Great League RAYQUAZA to shine. Shielding up, making the Drill Run. Drill Run will get the Azu low. In comes the Great League RAYQUAZA, looking for the Dragon Tail down, but Azu says no, making the last second Ice Beam. Rayquaza has to shield the Ice Beam. In comes the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen farming up. Do they have the Stone Edge here? They have enough energy for it. It's not the Stone Edge. Rayquaza survives, and this Nidoqueen is getting one shot. Get that Nidoqueen out of here, and that's a good game. We see some spice from the opponent in the next match as Alolan Sandslash leads into Galarian Weezing. Now, Weezing more commonly seen in the Ultra League, so it is pretty cool to see it being used in the Great League. Weezing is at enough for the Overheat. Sandslash shields, and that proves to be a big shield as the opponent full sends the Overheat. Sandslash returning fire with the Drill Run. That will be shielded by the Weezing. Sandslash farming up, overfarms into a CMP tie, and this is another Overheat. Calling it, opponent baits with a Sludge, and that is an absolutely massive bait call there, as a debuffed Overheat would still one-shot. Opponent has a Azumarill. Unfortunately, the opponent has a lot of fairy types on this team, and when running Double Dragon, that's never what you want to see. Farming up with the A-Slash. A-Slash will be hit with a charge move from the Azu here. A-Slash going to let this through. Play Rough connects. That is resisted, but that still adds up quite a bit onto the A-Slash. A-Slash firing off the Drill Run into the Azu. A-Slash continuing to farm. We see a switch into Altaria, basically just sacrificing the Altaria, hoping that by getting rid of the Azu, that we're going to see a good matchup for Rayquaza in the back, but we don't, as it's Aurorus. Opponent has 3 Dragon counters, and Sky Attack will be no-shielded. This is not looking good whatsoever. Sending in the Sandslash. They're firing off energy here, and this is incredibly rough. Weather Ball will KO. In comes Rayquaza. Rayquaza farming up. Opponent throws on alignment. Wait, is there a chance here? Rayquaza gets the farm down. Big mistake by the opponent. In comes the Azumarill, firing off the Breaking Swipe here. The question is, how close is Azu to a move? Breaking Swipe gets shielded. Rayquaza able to make it to another Breaking Swipe. This is double resisted, but the Azumarill, it's too low, and Rayquaza secures the win. Moving into the next match, leading A-Slash into Pelipper. Not a bad matchup for the A-Slash whatsoever. A-Slash farming up, going for the Ice Punch. Opponent could have gone for the Weather Ball, but instead chooses to overfarm. That's going to connect, continuing to farm up with the A-Slash, and a very nice catch, catching the Weather Ball onto the Altaria, wasting the opponent's energy. and the opponent is going to send in Unova Stunfisk. So they are clearly core broken by the Altaria. This is not a good response, as this Stunfisk is running Mudshot, and the Mudshots do absolutely nothing. Altaria is going to be firing off the Moonblast here. Moonblast onto the Stunfisk, connects, and that does some very nice chip damage. Unova Stunfisk continuing to spam out discharge after discharge, desperately trying to get rid of the Altaria. Altaria can't quite farm down. Stunfisk makes it to another discharge here. Discharge is going to KO. Let's see, Sandslash going for the farm down, and it gets it. That's a big farm down. In comes the Pelipper. Pelipper going for the Weather Ball here. Weather Ball does not KO, so we will see a no shield from the Sandslash. Sandslash looking to overfarm slightly, and then go for the kill shot with the Ice Punch. Ice Punch shielded by the Pelipper, but that's immediately met with another Ice Punch. Ice Punch into the Pelipper, gets both shields. In comes Rayquaza. They get farmed down. What's in the back? Oh boy, this Trevenant is about to learn the meaning of pain. Rayquaza makes it to the Dragon Ascent. Goodbye, Trevenant. And that's a good game. Picking up a decent lead in the next match, Alolan Sandslash into Galarian Stunfisk. Considering what's in back, you definitely want to see the Stunfisk on the lead with this team. A-Slash tries to go for the CMP tie when Stunfisk makes the Earthquake, but Stunfisk chooses to overfarm. But we see a catch onto the Altaria. Is it the Earthquake? Yes, it is. What a sensational catch. Very nicely done. Stunfisk will fire off the Rock Slide, but Altaria can very comfortably tank one Rock Slide here. Altaria farming up, will be able to Sky Attack, and plays to the CMP tie versus the Stunfisk. Sky Attack will be shielded by the Stunfisk. At this point, you just let the Altaria go. I honestly like this play. Altaria has done its job. You can send back in the Sandslash. Sandslash can't quite get the farm down, so firing off the Ice Punch on the CMP tie to ensure that the Stunfisk gets KO'd. Opponent has Medicham. Oh boy, this is not great. Firing off the Drill Run into the Medicham. Medicham lets it through. In comes Rayquaza. Rayquaza not going to appreciate the double super effective Ice Punches, so we see an immediate shield. In the back, opponent has Shadow Swampert. Oh boy, these Dragon Tails are absolutely shredding the Swampert. Swampert commits the shield. Rayquaza continuing to farm. Rayquaza just has to let this go. Rayquaza shields the Hydro. Honestly, I'm not sure about that play because the Medicham can potentially make an Ice Punch. Hydro Cannon does a lot of damage. Rayquaza gets the farm down, but Medicham is going to survive this Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe not going to KO, but the farm down is successful. My goodness. Dream lead in the next match, A-Slash into Altaria. Opponent save switches into a Alolan Marowak, and it's answered by Altaria. And matchups like these are why AWAC usage has dropped off dramatically. AWAC, the meta changes have not been kind to it whatsoever. Whether it's Noctowl getting a buff, Lantern getting surfed, there's so many meta Pokemon that AWAC just has zero play against. Altaria very comfortably gets the farm down. We have the Altaria Mirror committing to the Moonblast and getting there. My goodness, the commitment pays off. Moonblast rocks the Altaria, and the opponent is left extremely low. In comes Rayquaza, getting the Dragon Tail farm down. In the back, it's Shadow Machamp, and this game is over, but not before we see a cross-chop catch, fully sacrificing the full health A-Slash. Oh my goodness. Rayquaza was going to win anyway, but that catch just adds a little insult to injury, as Rayquaza will get the farm down. Tough lead in the next match, A-Slash into Quagsire. Quagsire can hit the entire team for super effective damage, so definitely not a fun spot to be in. Farming up and getting a very nice catch, catching the Mud Bomb onto Altaria. Catches like these definitely help. Quagsire going to stay in this matchup. Stone Edge, of course, hits for super effective damage, but importantly, it does not one-shot, and Quagsire has zero fast move pressure here. So they can land the Stone Edge, but they still need to go for another Stone Edge if they want to KO. We're going to see the Sky Attack deployed by the Altaria. We see a shield from the Quagsire. Quagsire over-farming and letting Altaria make another Sky Attack. Bit of a misplay by the opponent. They're double shielding the Quagsire. They bank a ton of energy, and now they send in Galarian Stunfisk. Opponent definitely would have been better off had they just switched in the Stunfisk sooner, but instead, now they've given up a ton of shields. Gonna send in Rayquaza and make a Rock Slide catch onto the Sandslash. Oh my goodness, getting an energy lead. It's actually a Muddy Water Galarian Stunfisk. My goodness. And now we see, I guess, why they didn't switch it in. Opponent not having the right moveset, costing them massively in this game. Firing off the drill run from the A-Slash. That won't quite KO, but the Ice Punch after definitely will. The Quagsire is absolutely loaded on energy in the back. Opponent sends in the Quag, and they're firing off the Mud Bomb. We will see the no shield. Sandslash gets KO'd, leaving it all up to Rayquaza. Rayquaza in a tough position here. Shields up. It is the Stone Edge. Rayquaza can't quite get the farm down. In comes Noctowl. Let's see this Dragon Ascent damage. Rayquaza gets the full one-shot of the Noctowl, and that's a good game. Nightmare lead in the next match, A-Slash into Vigoroth. Altaria's safe switch is going to be answered by Quagsire. Quagsire, not a fabulous response to the Altaria, mainly due to the fact that Altaria A has an energy lead, and B, you're never going to be able to mudshot down the Altaria. Sky Attack into the Quagsire will be no-shielded by the opponent. Altaria farming up, firing off another Sky Attack. This is going to put pressure on the shield of the opponent, and they're going to commit the shield here. Getting switch advantage would be nice, but choosing to let this go. Opponent goes for a Mud Bomb. That's not gonna cut it. Oh my goodness, they get farmed down. The opponent now in an incredibly difficult position. Making it to the Sky Attack versus the Vigoroth. This Sky Attack will be no-shielded. Vigoroth leaving with energy, and that's a bit scary. His Body Slam is going to do massive damage to Rayquaza, but the opponent throwing on alignment, and that is absolutely disastrous versus a Pokemon that has the attack stat of Rayquaza, as that Snuck Dragon Tail does so much damage. Rayquaza gets the farm down. It's Talonflame in the back. Very nice charge move timing, going for the Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe is going to be shielded up, farming up, can't get the catch. Opponent needs to Brave Bird to KO. A Flame Charge won't do it. They go for the Flame Charge, and that's going to cost them, as Breaking Swipe, I think, will be lethal here into the Talonflame, and it is. We see another Mudboy on the lead in the next match, A-Slash into Whiscash. This battler really likes going for catches, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a catch after 5 Shadow Claws. Goes for the catch, unsuccessful, and the opponent sends out Wigglytuff. Definitely had to bait out the Wigglytuff here. Going for the Moonblast. Would have been able to reach 2 Sky Attacks there, which would do more damage than 1 Moonblast. Moonblast, unfortunately, no debuff coming through, and the Altaria will fall short of the Sky Attack. Sending in the Sandslash. Sandslash is going to be resisting whatever Wigglytuff throws, as we see a notification for my own channel. Let's go. Shout out to people who have notifications on. You love to see it. All right, going for the Ice Punch. That's going to KO, and going to fire off the Drill Run into the Whiscash. Whiscash could have thrown a move, decides to go for the extra here. Now Whiscash going for the Mud Bomb. A-Slash probably just going to let this go and trust in Rayquaza. In comes Rayquaza. Rayquaza farming up, committing the shield in case it is the Blizzard. Whiscash full sends the Blizzard. What is in the back? It's a Skarmory. And I think this is going to be game over here, as I don't think Rayquaza is going to be able to pull out this win. Rayquaza hits incredibly hard considering its resisted damage, but it's still not going to be enough, as Skarmory has the shield advantage here. Continuing to spam out Breaking Swipes, but it's just too little too late for the glassy Rayquaza. Rayquaza continuing to farm. Rayquaza winning CMP over the Skarmory. This Skarmory is now going to be 3 stages debuff, but Rayquaza is almost in the red health. I think the Sky Attack is still going to be enough to KO. Sky Attack takes down Rayquaza. Hopping into the final match, leading A-Slash into Drifblim. Now, this is a pretty nice matchup for the A-Slash, unless Drifblim is running Mystical Fire. If they're running Mystical Fire, then this is really not fun whatsoever. Ice Punch will be shielded. We actually see a switch into Altaria. If this is Icy Wind, this is double super effective damage. Drifblim goes for the Shadow Ball. So potentially, they're not running Icy Wind. We'll have to see. Either that, or the opponent didn't see the switch in time. Oh, the opponent didn't see the switch in time. Okay, back in comes the A-Slash. A-Slash going for the Ice Punch here. Opponent has the ability to switch, but they're staying in here. So they clearly do not like the A-Slash in the back. Do you save the A-Slash, or do you just save 2 shields for Rayquaza? Saving the A-Slash. A-Slash gets the farm down. Switch clock almost up. Opponent sends in Lantern, so they clearly do not have a good response to the A-Slash in the back. Firing off the Drill Run. that is going to connect onto the Lantern and do some considerable damage. A-Slash will live a Surf here, so A-Slash can let that go. In comes the Toxicroak snipe, but now Toxicroak is going to have to deal with Rayquaza. Rayquaza makes the breaking swipe. I believe this is going to just KO the Toxicroak, and it does! The damage output from Rayquaza is just insane, and the opponent knows it's over. They just stop tapping as Rayquaza, after a little bit of lag, looks like the opponent may have just force closed their app as Rayquaza KOs the Lantern. All in all, Dragon Ascent is an amazing addition to Rayquaza's move pool. You can get Dragon Ascent at the Global Go Fest, or if you go to one of the in-person Go Fests beforehand, and I believe you can get it by getting the item that's called Meteorites. It's just an absurdly powerful move. It's going to be really good in the Master League, but honestly, I really enjoyed getting to see a very rare Pokemon, the Great League Rayquaza, just terrorizing Pokemon with the massive damage output from Dragon Ascent. Anyways, thank you guys oh so very much. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is sincerely appreciated. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.